Runs kindly for Morrison. It's Callum Morrison! Just listen to this, please! Spencer takes over. It's Brad Spencer! It's in the back of the net! There's Donaldson driving forward. Called Donaldson! That is simply ridiculous! There's Tom Lang! Oh my word! Unbelievable! Phenomenal! Incredible! Invincible!
This is Falkirk Daft.
With Behind the Wall and the Falkirk football fans in training.
You take a pop at the king and you better make sure you kill him. That's a line from Line of Duty. Falkirk lived to see another day, and after the loss to Ayr United yesterday, that's what's happening. Hello, I am John McInerney. Welcome to Falkirk Daft, and with me, the Ginger God of Pod himself, the one-man band in the main stand, Mr. Ross Wayne, everyone.
Good evening, sir. Happy birthday for this week.
Thank you very much. By the way, yeah, so I'm raising a glass of red wine here. And by the way, I have to admit, at this point, we're a Sunday evening, we're recording at about 6:44 Sunday evening. My family have just all been round, in-laws, the full shebang, and it was, you know, my daughter shares the same birthday as me, so 12th of the 12th of the 12th, she was born on 12th, so this was apparently her golden birthday, Ross, so she's 12 on the 12th of the 12th.
That makes sense.
When she was born. So, yeah, so the whole in-laws were around here today, and my dad was here as well. My dad likes to drink. My mum doesn't like to drink. So, but my dad's always like that, tap, tap, tap in the glass, and he absolutely melted my whiskies tonight. So I've had about 5 or 6 drams, a couple of beers, and now we're on to the vino.
Excellent.
This could be an interesting...
This could be one of the best podcasts we've ever done then.
It could be very interesting. It could be very interesting. But listen, it's not only my birthday. It's everyone's birthday as well. Let's go into birthday corner straight away. And I have to say, Ross, thank you so much. It was my birthday on Thursday, and you got me a message from Liam Henderson, the Kaiser himself. I was delighted. The best birthday present I had, by the way.
Good. Excellent. Now, listen, don't let the family hear you say that.
Yeah. It's okay, the wife doesn't listen to this podcast. It's fine.
Thank God.
But yeah, honestly, I got that message first thing on Thursday morning from the Kaiser himself, Mr. Henderson. I was delighted with that. Though it was...
Can I just check, was that better than Tom Lang bursting out a huge cake? Because that was the other plan.
Oh, yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been nice as well. Yeah, but no, to get a birthday message from the Kaiser himself was delightful. And the best birthday present I got. So thank you very much, Ross Wayne, for making that happen. I suspect it was through his dad, Willie, that made that happen.
I can't confirm or deny that.
Aye, I bet it was. So thanks, Willie Henderson, as well for that. But there's lots of other people celebrating. All the best people are born this week, by the way. Can I just clarify that? All the best people in the world are born this week. So happy birthday in Birthday Corner. Let's play the music. Belated birthday shout out to Barbara Duncan, who's 73 recently. And that's from her son, Andrew. Well done, Barbara. Fantastic.
Well done.
See if Barbara's watching this on YouTube or listening to it on the podcast version. Welcome in, Barbara. I love that fact. So happy birthday, Barbara Duncan from Falkirk Daft. Thank you very much. And a happy birthday to Keys, open brackets, Kieran, whose 30th coming up over the festive period. We hope you have a safe and enjoyable night, and remember, please don't be your usual loud and spewy self when you get home from the Rosebank residence. Who's that from, Ross?
That was his mate. That was from his mate. Let me just double check the name, because we can't just let that go as the Rosebank residents, do we? We need to attribute this to someone. Let's have a look. That was from his mate Logan Thompson.
Well done, Logan. Shout out to Kieran. Do not be noisy. I'm assuming he's in the Rosebank flats then.
Must be in that.
By the way, what a great set of flats. See, if I was a young lad back again, what a great set of flats I must be to stay in now. With the distillery right next door to you.
Exactly. No far from the town, staggering distance from the
town. Oh, absolutely fantastic. Like, I'd love to. I've never had a flat in the town, but it'd be amazing.
No, I've always been in the sort of Newcarn area.
I know, my mates used to stay up just on the way to the high. You know those flats on the way to the high station?
Aye, that'd be good.
Side,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. My mate's just staying there. Great party flat. So happy birthday to Keys, stroke Kieran, open brackets. I don't. This is how the podcast is going to go tonight.
This is going to be a fucking belter tonight.
The podcast is going to go. Listen, we got it all wrong, by the way. Last week, the calendar sign was on Thursday.
The calendar. We got so much abuse for who we picked and who we missed out. Like, so much abuse. The amount of DMs from angry females, including some males as well, actually, they were furious.
Yeah, so we missed out a couple of key good-looking fellas from the calendar. Now, I've just seen the calendar yet.
I've seen a picture of the front cover. I've not seen
We've not seen who's what month yet, though, have we?
No, I don't think so.
No one sent us that. No one has sent us that yet, and we asked for that, which is very disappointing. So if you have got the calendar, let us know who is what month.
No, who was there was Grant Thompson. So, aka Charlie from Still Game. Mm-hmm. So I will, hopefully he's listening. He will be, because he listens every week. So hopefully he sends us a picture of who's where. But yeah, we did. We got a lot of abuse. However, there was someone who was very happy, John, and he misses us, didn't he?
Yes, he did indeed. That's from Big Time Chris McGill. Thank you very much, Chris, the kit man, who's delighted I've gone the Dafty of the Week to the calendar. So, Mr. December, Chris McGill, welcome to the calendar. Congratulations. I have to say, though, there was a couple of big misses. There was a couple...
Instead of nipple tassels, he's got like a pair of grip socks that he's just twirling.
We have to reevaluate it, though. I think Chris is going to have to go out the calendar, because Ross McKeever should be in there. We didn't even discuss Ross McKeever. And Big Mick McKenna. The boy, see when he takes that strip off, what a body that boy has.
That's true. And obviously, Ali, who works, helps and volunteer with the club in hospitality, she said, Aidan Nesbitt, I can't believe you didn't mention Aidan Nesbitt.
However, I think Aidan needs to lose points from the man bun.
Okay, right. It's harsh. It's
a bit harsh, but yeah, I don't know. I believe Aidan is loves the Cat House in Glasgow and is a big rock fan. So
that surely raises the same.
That for me, that raises the bar. I expect to see Aidan when I go and see Limp Bizkit in May. By the way, I've got tickets for Limp Bizkit. Yeah, I've got to see Limp Bizkit at the Hydro, by the way. But yeah, so maybe listen. I don't think we're the best people to judge the calendar, right? And I'll be interested to see who is January to December. But please, if you love men, let us know who should be in the calendar. In your ranking, January to December, please.
Is January the best month? Should that be the hottest player?
Yeah, well, so Tom Manning's January, clearly.
Right, okay, fair enough.
So, there's no argument against that, Ross. Okay. Now, if you want to provide an argument against that,
No, Austin, I'll go with Tam for January. Not a problem.
Tam for January, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, please give us a ranking, please. People who are attracted to men, because we're in a terrible position to judge that.
Well, we are really, yeah.
But Tam's obviously January, yeah.
Tam's January. We'll stick with that. We'll go with that.
Yeah. Let's go with that. We're still skipping over the fact we got beat off at Ayr yesterday. We'll talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about the F Factor, Ross, and let's talk about some of the songs that we've been getting in. Let's kick off with Ali Mullen. Can you do this? Because Wonderful Days by Charlie Low Noise, I am not familiar with the song.
I'm not familiar with it. There's no way I'm going to be familiar with it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, it's a new one on me. I'll talk it through, but I don't know the tune. So, because I know you've got a belter to talk through.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So Ali Mullen sent us in. So he says, get the ultras on this to the tune of Wonderful Days by Charlie Low Noise. Again, it's a new one on me. But he says, we sing the right back. He runs so fast. He's Keelan Adams. He's fucking class. He loves the Bairns. We love him too. Keelan Adams belongs in navy blue. So actually, it goes pretty well. I just don't know the tune. But in terms of lyrics, it's pretty spot on, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. However, I have no idea of the tune. Have you got it on Spotify there, Ross? Can you fire it up from Spotify and we'll try to do it from that.
I don't have Spotify, but I've got Apple Music, which is pretty much the same thing in it. So, wonderful days. Right, here we go.
Right,
Hopefully-
okay.
Let's dance, I think. It says it's in the Happy Hardcore Top 100.
DJ Rankin, who was last week's sponsors, will be happy with that.
It's a slow burner. It's coming.
Right, here we go.
You can hear it.
No, not really. No, can't hear it. Anyway, so if you know the song Wonderful Days by Charlie Oneyes, we signed it right back. He runs so fast. He's Keelan Adams. He's fucking class. He loves the Bairns. We love him too. Keelan Adams belongs in navy blue. There you go. And apparently he stole it from the Hearts fans and on TikTok. So they do it for James Penrice. So thank you very much for that. Ali on the F Factor. Let's go to Callum Scrimmager. He says, great show as always. I have an F Factor song, but would like to remain anonymous. So just forget, just forget I said your name there, Callum.
Classic.
To the tune of Stevie Wonder, Part-Time Lover. Now, I'm very familiar with Part-Time Lover by Stevie Wonder. Are you familiar with Part-Time Lover by Stevie Wonder, Ross?
Yeah, I do. I recognise the song title. I can't remember.
Okay. Right, okay. I've got it, right. He runs a marathon, a game. His man bun puts your hair to shame. He's our number 10, Aidan Nesbitt. He covers every blade of grass. He'll hunt you down. He's fucking class. He's our number 10, Aidan Nesbitt. Like that a lot.
Excellent. That's a good shout.
That is excellent.
You've nailed it, John.
Thanks to Anonymous for that one. And finally, we've got to say a big shout out to Fraser on the F Factor, who has given us a Christmas ditty to the tune of Fairy Tale of New York, Ross. Now, I'm sure you're aware of that song.
Massively, yes.
Right, so I'm just going to go to this, right? So, in the spirit of Christmas, he said, I think the verse about the sisters' drug money, fuel and fellatio needs toned down a touch. So he's done the updated versions out. Right, so you're kicking off from the you know that bit. So once it really kicks off after the bit. So here we go. This is what Fraser's got for us on the F Factor. We've got Hogarth and Goes, who've got 4 at the back, but when Callum and Ross go, we're on the attack. When McGlynn first took change back in May 22, he promised promotion for the Navy and Blue. We played handsome, we played pretty. Winners in every city. When the team started playing, we yelled out for more. McGlynn arms were swinging, Invincibles winning. We kicked every corner and scored every goal. The boys of the Falkirk Ultras Choir were singing fuck the pars, and the filthy Fifer scum can kiss my arse. You're a bum, you're a punk, you're my own sister's junk. She's flat on her back, her head's full of crack. You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap lousy faggot, get into the bath, greasy Paul Hartley. The boys of the Ultras Choir were singing, and then you go back to that.
That's a brilliant effort from Fraser. That is a brilliant effort.
That is straight into boot camp, by the way.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's Judge's Houses, isn't it?
That's Judge's Houses. That's straight to Judge's Houses. So well done, Fraser, for that. Fantastic entries, boys. If you want to keep the F Factor going, let us know. Drop us a DM. Give us your song. Give us a tune, because me and Ross keep it old, because keep it 90s, because me and Ross don't know anything beyond the 90s.
Yeah, anything to the tune of the Stereophonics or Mannix or Oasis.
Ross has no idea. I'm not okay on music. Ross has absolutely no idea.
No,
So
unless it comes from 3 bands or Take That, I'm fucked.
Take that, Jesus Christ. Anyway, keep them coming. F Factor. Drop us a DM on our socials, or email us ffactor at falkirkdaft.co.uk. You can do that.
That's right, well done.
Yeah, thanks very much. Honest to God, Jesus Christ.
You're so pissed.
Oh,
this is brilliant.
This is not good. This is not good. Listen, I've got to say a big thanks to this week's episode sponsor, Armour, which is pronounced Rumour.
Rumour.
Rumour, apparently. Thank you very much.
Architecture, yes.
To Rumour Architecture, they've been on the go for 5 years this January, and set up by a massive Bairns fan, our friend Ryan Marshall. Rumour are fully chartered and accredited architects, and one of the only currently 3 chartered architects practicing within the town. Wow.
Indeed. Who knew?
Who knew? Ryan! Our pal Ryan Marshall, who, like, we've played... Like, Ryan's went to the game for us for years. We used to play 5-a-sides with Ryan. And now he is one of only 3 chartered architects in the town.
There we go.
Listen, what a guy. If you're looking for an architect, Ryan is your man. He's got a number of projects around the town that have been designed by Rumour, which a few people may have seen. The houses at the Old Polish Club. Oh, by the way, the houses at the Old Polish Club are unbelievable.
They're stunning. They are. They're stunning.
Absolutely. If you pass them, you'll see them. They're unbelievable. You look at, like, they've got this kind of Nordic kind of look to them.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that Ryan did that. That's unbelievable. So Ryan did that. So if you pass that way, you'll see those houses on the right hand side on the way down up to KFC and all that sort of stuff. They're unbelievable. They've also recently done architecture on the Crunchy Carrots offices, the old Lecky's building, which is right next to behind the wall. Unbelievable. Like, seeing those offices and you walk past them on the way behind the wall, they look absolutely stunning. So Ryan has done that as well, and he's also got Charlie Mulgrew as a client as well. Someone that's maybe even sexier than Tom Lang. I don't want to say that.
Oh, that's a statement. That's not a question, is it? That's a statement.
I know, but listen, Ryan's dealt with Charlie Mulgrew as well. So listen, see if you're looking for an architect, Ryan's your man. If you're a Bairns fan, you're looking to get something done in the house, an extension, what have you, or you're looking to actually set up a new project as a business, Ryan is the man you need to speak to. Like I say, only currently 3 chartered architects in the town, and Ryan's one of them. So get involved with Ryan. He's got a small growing team, right? But he's got projects all across Scotland, dealing with bespoke, contemporary extensions, housing developments, commercial property, hotels, and industrial clients. If you're happy to speak to him, get involved with Ryan. armar.co.uk, armar.co.uk, and he will sort you out with that as well. So yeah, we've known Ryan for years, and he's a great guy, massive Bairns fan, been at all the Falkirk Daft live events as well.
Yeah, it's a great guy, and as we'll talk about, he's going to be involved with the next live event, which we'll talk about in a few minutes too.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks very much, well, to our sponsors, obviously, the Falkirk Football Fans in Training. Met the boys in, we'll talk about, we were in, obviously, hospitality last weekend when we talked about the Raid Rovers game. All the boys were in the toll booth with us as well, Ross.
Yeah, great bunch of guys. Brilliant guy.
Great guys. And the Lava Cup is coming soon in the new year. We'll give you details on that in the new year. T8s are supporting each other through football, making memories. Get involved with them every night on a Monday. Stadium 8 till 9, and then Tuesday 7:30 to 8:30. Get involved with the T8s down there. If you're looking to get a bit of fitness, make some mates, get involved with the boys. Monday at the stadium 8 to 9, and Tuesday 7:30 to 8:30. And of course, they've got Super Vets football that happens down at the stadium on a Friday night between 5 and 6. It's a collaboration between the FFIT and the walking football side. It's over 50s, 8-a-side, but playing to old school 5-a-side rules. And the guys are celebrating a big anniversary at the moment, Ross, aren't they?
Are they? That's that. Do you know something I don't?
No. The Christmas party is down at the stadium this weekend.
Oh yes, I beg your pardon. You're right, John. So and this week at the stadium, obviously they play Tuesday nights, as you mentioned. This is a charity night as well, so they've got all the boys playing just for a donation. Christmas jumpers they were saying they were wearing. They're going to be wearing on Tuesday night as well. So I assume there'll be some interesting varieties of Christmas jumper on show down at the stadium on Tuesday night.
So if you want to get involved with the T8s, get down there right now on a Tuesday night, 7:30 to 8:30. The guys will be there. Get your Christmas jumper on. Great time to be joining the guys. That's Ian, Willie or Dougie. Get involved. The links are below. get in touch with the guys, get down to the stadium, either on a Monday 8 till 9 or Tuesday 7:30 to 8:30, and make new friends, make a new adventure.
That's it. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about, absolutely. Link is below to get involved. Right, let's talk about Falkirk Daft news and club news. Right, so we've got to say, Falkirk Daft Live 3 is happening.
It is. Can't wait already. The last one, we're still smiling after the last one. It was fantastic night again. And but this one, we're hoping to raise the bar every time, aren't we? So we will be announcing special guests in the coming weeks as we nail them down. But yeah, Friday the 28th of February in Behind the Wall, as always. Tickets, however, if you're looking for a last minute sort of Christmas gift, or you're struggling to think of a gift to give, tickets for Falkirk Daft Live will go on sale this coming Friday at the Eventbrite link that we'll share on our socials. And for those that have been before, I'm sure they'll validate that it's a real good night and a good laugh, and it sets you up for the weekend, doesn't it?
Guess still TBC. We're working on a couple of belters at the moment. We're at a couple of knockbacks at the moment, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll get them for another one.
Yeah,
but,
the dates are just not marrying up for a couple of. So we'll get them at a future event, won't they?
But I've got a couple of irons in the fire right now, and I think if we get the guests I want to get for the night, I think I would say it's a bit more old school this time. So previously we've obviously had Lee Miller. Yep. We had Tom Lang, Callum Wilson at the last one as well. Yeah. But this, I think, is going to be a bit more old school. If we can get the two guys we want to get, I think it's going to be a really, really good night. So tickets go on sale this Friday. Check out our socials. Buy your tickets for a Christmas present if you're struggling. But yeah, they'll sell fast. They've done really good. Like the last couple of times they've went within hours. Yeah. So keep an eye on our socials and get involved in the next Falkirk Daft Live. It's a good night. It's a good laugh. It's a bit wild. It
is wild. It's not. It's not for the faint-hearted. And we always get asked, are like kids allowed? So the only answer we would give to that is it would be over 13, over 14 upwards, really. As a minimum.
Yeah.
Because
the content can sometimes be a bit more adult orientated.
Exactly. However, it is a fantastic night, and it really does set you up for a big weekend of football. We obviously that weekend we're scheduled to play Hamilton Accies away, which is always a big away day for the Falkirk fans.
We had planned to do it on the week after, however, the club have got a speaker site the week after, so we thought we better not do it the same night before the Dunfermline game. So yeah, we've moved it a week forward to Friday the 28th, Behind the Wall. We can't wait to do that again. The last two have been unbelievable. We can't wait for the third one. So get involved. Look out on our socials for tickets going on sale. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. You can win a captain's armband. Ross has got loads to spare. Ross has had a load printed up.
Well, I don't know if I've got loads now, because between all the different, like obviously we had our live event, we've had other charity stuff. We've not got a lot left, but we do have definitely one available. And we want people to try and win it before Christmas, because that would be a nice potential gift for someone as well, wouldn't it?
It would be good. So this is the ideal Christmas present. So all you need to do to win the captain's armband and get it for your kids this Christmas is tell us your favourite episode of the season so far and why. This might be the episode where John was steaming, so I really enjoyed that episode. So message us on Facebook or on X. Ross will pick the winner this week, and you've got to get the entries in by Thursday evening. So just tell us your favourite episode of the season so far and why. We'll pick the best one via Ross, and entries have got to be in by Thursday evening, and you can win a captain's armband. And what a present that would be to wake up on Christmas morning for the kids.
It really would. And if the winner is local, happy to obviously drop it off.
There you go. You get to meet Ross Wayne as well. What if
exactly, that's a bonus
right there.
That's a bonus for you right there. There's a bonus.
Absolutely. Got to have a shout out to the under 18s and under 16s, both teams winning over Edinburgh City this weekend. 10-1 for the under 18s on Friday night with goals from McGlynn, Aitchison and Gavin Dick with 8 goals.
That's phenomenal. Isn't it?
That's
I don't think
unbelievable.
anyone scoring 8 goals.
I don't think anyone at any Falkirk level, I'm going to put my neck out right now, and someone will probably disprove me, looking at you, Michael White. Has anyone at any Falkirk level ever scored 8 goals in a game?
Surely not.
Surely not. Unbelievable, Gavin Dick. Well done, son. Under 18s, 10-1 win over Edinburgh. And the under 16s today won 6-4. Goals from Savoury, Bell, Harris, Harty, Neal, and Cammy Lawson as well. Unbelievable stuff.
Brilliant weekend. Obviously, both teams have absolutely destroyed teams in black and white. Unfortunately, the first team couldn't manage the same outcome. However, for the young guys coming through, brilliant to see them rattling the goals in. And you mentioned Cammy Lawson there at the end. John, he is getting an awful lot of good. I'm hearing an awful lot of good stuff about him online. And these guys are the future of Falkirk Football Club. So let's see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I say, obviously we're getting the academy up and running again, and we hope to be there in a couple of years' time with a full-time academy. But like the guys that are coming through, we've not seen a lot of the guys coming off the bench this season for obvious reasons. But when you look at like Honeyman out on loan at Alloa, obviously in the Stirlingshire Cup as well, doing really good things, it's quite exciting. It's quite exciting. Let's just hope in years to come we're back to where we were when we were selling on. Not selling on. You hope they come into the Falkirk team, but if these guys are doing really, really well and have got a sell-on value, great.
Absolutely. Yep. No, 100%. And this is what it's all about, seeing these kids in Falkirk strips and going on and doing brilliant things. And long may it continue, because we've missed out on a few years of seeing that. So let's hope it happens.
Exactly. Shout out to the team as well. I bumped into Graham Stewart in Tesco and Camelon.
Oh, yeah.
Camelon, whatever we're calling it these days. He was involved with taking the team up to Forth Valley Hospital on Thursday there.
Wednesday or Thursday last. Oh, no, it was Thursday. I think it was Thursday.
Was it Thursday there? And got a shout out to T4 Travel, who were brilliant. He took the whole squad up to the hospital, back again, and he said, like the faces on the kids, on the patients in the Forth Valley when the Falkirk team turned up, he said it was amazing.
Of course it would be, mate. It's brilliant for adults as when the team's doing so well.
Oh my God! See if I was in Forth Valley and Tom Lang turned up by my bedside, I'd be delighted.
Yeah, kiss me better, Tom. Kiss me better.
It's so down here, Tom.
I think it is brilliant though. See, the pictures that the club shared were just phenomenal, and it doesn't need a huge story to go along with it, because the pictures are enough. It's a bit like the whole, when you see the captain's armband thing at the end, you don't need a big song and dance about it. It's just the pictures tell the story, and it was the same. And the Falkirk are brilliant at it. They do it every single year. That said, I know a lot of the clubs do it, so it's not just a Falkirk thing, it's a football. I actually think this is one of the things Scottish football does really well. They do look at charities, they do look at hospitals, they do look at children. Shout out to, I don't know if you saw it, John, a shout out to Dunfermline. They did the same.
Shout out to Dunfermline, that's the first time on Falkirk Daft.
Yeah, listen, they went out to their local hospital, they did it as well. And did you see the little news information that went along with it? The comment was, it was really nice to put a smile on the faces of those facing a long uphill struggle, said little Andrew Smith, age 7. There we go. The old ones are the best.
Absolutely. But no, listen, like you say, it's a great thing that Scottish football does, going out and visiting local hospitals, local charities. And our guys going out and doing that at Forth Valley Hospital, so well done to the guys, and put a lot of smiles on a lot of patients' faces. And a big shout out to Graham Stewart. Like, Graham obviously is not involved with the commercial department now, but he wanted to be involved in this because it's his baby, and he was out there with the guys and organised all the sort of T4 travel and stuff. So well done to the club and everyone involved in that on Thursday there. season tickets have went on sale now, Ross, and now we're over 4,000 season tickets sold. Amazing.
That must be a record, John. I've never heard in my lifetime Falkirk selling over 4,000.
Is that right? Yeah.
Honestly, if they have, they've never made a song and dance about it, which would be rare because it is a huge number. I genuinely think that must be a record. I know there was like the crowds that we got in the Premier League days were obviously big as well. But see, in terms of home numbers, I think we are now in a position where we're getting bigger crowds, home crowds now than we did in the Premier League, which is just phenomenal. So if people can afford it and they've not got one so far, get your half-season ticket bought. Every bit of extra money will go towards John and the management team for potentially bringing in even more brilliant players in January as well.
Yeah, I mean, you got to say, when you look at, I'm looking down the average attendances for the Premiership right now, we must be there or thereabouts. When you look at Kilmarnock, 6,054 is the average attendance there.
We're over that. We're at 6,242 just now. So
we are currently 9th in terms of, because no one else in the Championship's getting crowds like we do.
No.
So, Dundee 6,054, Motherwell 5,655, 4,290 for Ross County, and 5,474 for St Johnstone as well.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Well, considering some of the crowds, the away crowds.
When you consider we don't have a Rangers or Celtic coming to the Falkirk Stadium, that's unbelievable. Absolutely brilliant.
Huge, mate. What a difference it's making as well.
No, exactly. And as I've always said, with the rise of the Ultras, with, I think, a younger support coming into the Falkirk Stadium, specifically in the Ken McAllister stand, that's just going to continue, because if the team are successful on the park, the more people coming in, it's just going to make Bairns for life, isn't it?
That's it. That's exactly it. I think, see the free season ticket thing that the club have been doing now for the last 10 years or so, we are now seeing the benefit of that, because you have hundreds and hundreds of kids every single year coming along with their mums and dads, and they've got the bug. And granted, the football team on the park just now are making such a big difference, but the core support had already grown, regardless. Like, if you think about how well we'd still maintain the support during the sort of banter years, as we call it now, the crowds held up. They really did. Yeah,
absolutely. And long may it continue. I think next season, try to get a season ticket it depends where we are. Depends where we are, but it will it'll be a real rush to get season tickets next season.
I think so as well, mate. I do.
Yeah, I think so. Thanks to Behind the Wall, of course, our sponsors. Stay local, eat and drink global, and we are delighted to say the Falkirk Daft Venom has made the menu at Behind the Wall, everyone.
There we go.
We are on the menu now. The Falkirk Daft Venom. And like I said last week, Ross, we've had so many people get in touch with us with pictures of drinking the Falkirk Daft Venom, and people rave reviews. I would say rave reviews.
I've not seen a bad review, to be fair, and Brian must have sold hundreds of these things so far. So
I wish we were on a cut when we suggested this. Yeah, we went to Brian, said, could we put a Falkirk Daft Venom, but can we make it blue?
That was our only
input. We had a couple of suggestions of how to make it blue, but beyond that, the cocktail maestros at Behind the Wall have done the job. And there are, think if you've not had a Falkirk Daft Venom, think like a blue ice pole, like a blue Mr. Or a blue slush. That's what you can imagine a Falkirk Daft Venom tastes like. Get involved, get it now. Behind the Wall, when you're up in town, your Christmas night out. Last the Christmas night outs are happening this week. You had yours yet?
This week, yeah, we've got our one this week. So, where
you going?
Oh no, ours is not a physical one. Ours is a virtual one.
Oh no, really?
Mate, all my full team that I look after, they all live and work in Leeds, so I'm the only sod that's up this way. But yeah, so we've got a virtual thing.
Oh
But
my
you got
God,
yours? Have you
that's
still get
horrendous.
yours?
Yeah, we've got ours on Thursday. We're going out in Glasgow. I'm going to. I suggested like we're going for pre-drinks. Me and my pal Shane, who does the video stuff at Clyde One, and I said to Gordon Dale yesterday, "You fancy coming for a breeze, Daz?" He's like, "Aye." And I said to Hugh Keevans as well, I was like, "Come on, Hugh, you getting on the prees?" He's like, "Aye." So I think I might be going pre-drinks with Gordon Dale and Hugh Keevans on Thursday night before we go to the party.
That sounds like carnage, to be fair.
I honestly got any night out with Gordon Dale is absolute carnage. He's an absolute like if you've ever heard some of the stories of Gordon Dale, whether you were at the Sportsman's Dinner that I was hosting or listening to Clyde One Super Scoreboard, he's a maniac. Absolute legends of the game. So looking forward to the stories and him and Hugh Keevans for pre-drinks. Hugh will be on the red wine. Daz will be on pints. I would think so. It should be getting out. So that's on Thursday. So I'll report back next week on how that went.
Next podcast, fellas in.
Absolutely. But anyway, see if you're on a Christmas night out, get down to Behind the Wall. Get your Falkirk Daft Ales, get involved because they have Falkirk's best selection of fine wines, lagers, craft and cask ales, and obviously fantastic value for food and great service. And there's still spaces on the bus for Hamilton on Saturday. Get involved with that. It's £5. And we always say the best deal in the town, £5 for the bus. You go down to the game, you get taken back from the game, and you get a free drink. So virtually, it's a free bus.
There we go. Exactly. Perfect. Wow, it was a brilliant deal. We're booked on as well, John, aren't we? There are some seats left. They've got this is their second bus, so the first bus is full. Some seats are available. Likewise, they've got a third bus booked for Dunfermline away at the end of the month, and there are limited seats left for that one as well.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to get involved with the buses, speak to Scotty at the bar, give Behind the Wall a call, or head to behindthewall.co.uk, get your seat on the bus, head down to the Hamilton game, enjoy your Christmas festivities, because a lot of people will be finishing up on Friday, so that means Saturday is a free pass for the football for Hamilton, and hopefully a bit of bounce back ability. So get involved in Behind the Wall this Saturday coming, and Brian and the team are, as usual, wishing all the Falkirk Daft fans a safe and a happy festive period from everyone at Behind the Wall, one of Falkirk's best pubs. Absolutely 100%. Right, let's talk. Do we need to talk about?
I don't know. We've skirted around it quite a lot. Do we need to?
We have skirted about it quite a lot, but let's talk about the game, and we're going to talk with it this week with Callum Wilson. He was previously on versus Darvel back in February 2023. Everyone will know Callum, especially the Ultras. Is Callum Wilson on Falkirk Daft?
Hello, guys.
Callum, how you doing? You good?
Brilliant, guys. Absolutely amazing.
Good, man. It's a shame I've not got a win to talk about the way.
Aye, big shame.
Callum, I was watching the highlights on Falkirk TV because I didn't make the game yesterday. I was working. You two were both there. I saw you on the highlights running down to the front when Ross McKeever scored.
Oh, yeah, that was my drunken moment of the game.
How drunk were you at the game yesterday, Callum?
Well, I started at the backy nine.
Oh, Jesus.
That's when I started.
That's a good effort.
Aye.
That is a good effort, to be fair.
Aye.
Were you as bad as John is now?
I don't know. We'll see when we go on.
We'll absolutely see where we go from this. Callum, I'm surprised. Obviously, you are known to, when you're drunk, get your leg off and throw it up in the air. I was surprised I didn't see that at Ayr.
Yeah, I've been told to calm down on that.
Can I just say, we said it, we spoke to him about it before we started recording, but he has the best Zoom name I have ever seen on the podcast. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, he's got. If you are listening to the version, Callum has one leg, so he has a prosthetic leg, and he's now got the tag name Hop Along, which I believe you've got on the back of your strip as well, Callum.
Yeah, it's on the away strip, aye. So
Brilliant.
the left hand's got the 0 for the 0 leg on the left.
Aye, that's
And
class.
it's went well.
Brilliant, absolutely
That's
brilliant. And Callum was at the last Falkirk Daft live event as well, and ended up on stage. You end up winning Lee Miller's top, didn't you, Callum?
I did, yes. That's currently fanatical getting framed.
Brilliant.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. You coming to Falkirk Daft live 3, Callum?
Hopefully I get a ticket when they come out.
Oh, we'll sort you out.
We'll
you
sort
out.
you out, Callum. You're a friend of the podcast, and you were up on stage at the end of the last podcast getting your picture with Lee Miller as well, which I absolutely loved. Absolutely loved. Callum, you've been on before. You were on last season, so we've already got your Falkirk memories. Let's talk about the most disappointing player. I love how we've changed the language on this. The most, to make it more 2024, as the shittest player that played for Falkirk now is the most disappointing player that's played for Falkirk. For you, who was it, Callum?
Just one? Jesus Christ. I want to say big Tom Dallison of the Hartley era.
Oh, yes. I remember Tom. He looked
Tom?
a player. He did look a player, to be fair.
Tom Smart, like, I watched Tom Dallison. I think he played at Wembley with Crawley.
What, after us?
Aye.
Oh, Jesus.
He's doing something right now then.
No.
Tom Dallison, I think, is an absolute stalwart in the lower leagues of England.
Jesus, that's
yeah.
I remember Tom Dallison. I remember Tom Dallison. He did look like a player, though. He looked like he actually should be a player, but then he was utter shite for us, unfortunately.
So I got off decent in the friendlies and that, but
he did.
Came shite.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm just going to have to Google Tom Dallison. I'm sure I watched him. I think he's smashed it. Like, he's an absolute Crawley legend now. I'm sure he is. There you go. All right, there you go. Obviously, he was like Brighton and Hove Albion, right? And he was like captain of the under 21s. Then he went to Crawley, played 66 games. He's now at Ebbsfleet United after playing 58 games for Colchester. There you go.
Come on.
So, yeah, played in the playoff, played at Wembley, Tom Dallison. There you go. Right, okay, you two boys were at the game yesterday. I was not. Huge Falkirk support, made it down. Where do we start? Let's look at the team first of all. Gary Oliver obviously picked up the injury last week. Now, we all know that every game Gary Oliver started, we have won.
Yep.
Ross McKeever came in for him. And McKenna not in the squad at all.
Yeah. Yeah, you can only assume he's picked up a knock in training because he was obviously part of the team last weekend against Wraith Rovers, and I don't recall him picking up any knocks on the pitch. But you don't want to lose a senior player because obviously it is the sort of under 18s that come in when we do our shortages. But the fact that Gary Oliver wasn't in the squad at all, as you said, John, there is that mad stat that the 3 games we've now lost. He's not been involved from the beginning, so. Fingers crossed he's back against Hamilton Accies. That's all I'm going to say.
Would you drop? Well,
Aye, definitely.
But would you drop him in front of Ross McKeever, who obviously opened up the scoring? We said last week he really needed a goal, and he did really, really well. Brilliant again. Let's talk about Alfie Agyeman. Agyeman, I think Agyeman is actually his real name because Sean on Falkirk TV always calls him Agyeman. So Sean's obviously done his research on this. We've always called him Alfie Agyeman. I think it must be Alfie Agyeman.
I think so. He's obviously checked, isn't it? It's gone back to the whole McKeever thing, isn't it?
Yeah. But we'll just go with Alfie at this point. So brilliant work from him straight away on the right hand side. Great skill from Alfie. Great cross, low cross as we're used to, and a brilliant finish from Big Ross.
Yeah, really nice finish. Typical sort of Ross McKeever goal, to be honest. Gets in front of the defender, pokes it home. And you think this is us on our way because what was it, 2 minutes on the clock or something? Full steam ahead. Let's let's go and smash it. And I bet you the Ayr fans, I bet you Scott Brown, etc. I bet you they were probably pretty worried a few minutes in after that opening goal.
It was pretty quick, Callum. It's what we're used to this season. Really quick start from Falkirk.
Aye, definitely. Like a lot of goals this season came from really at the start of the game, and yesterday was no different. It was just we started off 100 mile per hour, quick play, and the build up to the goal was fantastic.
So at this point, I'm stuck in the Quite One studio. We were doing our Cash for Kids sports auction on Saturday, so I couldn't make it down to the game. But I then saw 1-0, come on the Bairns, let's go. And then it flashed up on the screen, red card for Luke Graham. Now, there's a lot to depack here. Boys, what did you make of it instantly at the ground, Ross? What did you think of it instantly when you saw it at the ground?
So, in terms of obviously having had, when you see until last night, that was watching it yesterday is the first I'd see. Obviously, the first you've seen it, but in terms of watching it back several times now, and I know Lewis Connolly put a slow motion thing. All right, sorry, beg your pardon. It was Jamie Douglas actually.
It was Jamie.
Shared it, and Lewis shared it. It looks very, very likely that George Oakley has pushed Luke Graham's arm towards the ball. And by doing so, it's obviously punched away. George Oakley raises his arm. There's then some sort of weird conversation between the lino and the ref, a delayed conversation as well, Callum. So it feels like the wrong decision. Callum, I'll come to you.
Yeah, Ross. At first I didn't know what was going on. I just turned around and it was just players at each other, and I heard someone say someone's been sent off. I'm like, oh no! I just seen Big Luke walking away, and I watched it back as well. And to me, it was like Oakley actually handled the ball.
Yeah, it's tough to tell, isn't it? But either way, there's an arm there that's pushed towards from Oakley's direction.
But the ref wasn't giving anything, and the lino for some reason took a long time to give it. And the word's going is that Scott Brown actually said something to him, but being a red card. That's what the word's going around now. That would
not surprise me, because you look back at that incident and we've seen the slow mo now. The boys in Falkirk TV were like, at the time they didn't have a chance to give a replay of it. You look at that incident now, George. Now this is my reasoning. When you look back at the incident now, George Oakley, right, pushes Luke Graham's. Why would a defender who had the beating of George Oakley by, because he was on the right side of George Oakley, why would a defender smack it out with his arm intentionally? Why? That's the question I'm going to put there, right? Why would the defender do that when he had the right side? He was the right side of George Oakley as the defender, where he should be. He was the right side. We all know how strong Luke Graham is. At what point will Luke Graham decide as a defender to intentionally knock it out with his left arm?
Yeah, he wouldn't.
He wouldn't. That is the answer to that question. Now, let's look at George Oakley. George Oakley is grabbed Luke Graham's arm in a way, and from some angles it looks like it's George Oakley's arm that's hit the ball out. I will give him the benefit of the doubt in that reason, that he has taken Luke Graham's arm, intentionally moved it towards the ball to hit it out. His arm has went up straight away, right?
Yeah.
Straight away, right?
Yeah.
Like, now that for me is complete. Now, some would call it gamesmanship, others would call it cheating.
He's a cheating bastard, John.
You say cheating bastard, others would say gamemanship, Ross. I'm kind of siding with you though, but it is absolutely, because he's instant. He's instant because he knows what he's doing. That's why he is so instant. Now, at that point, as Callum said, he's put his arms up straight away because he's known what he's doing. He's grabbed Luke Graham's arm, thrown it towards the ball, because you can see the look at Luke Graham's face, just going, what?
Shocked. No, he is. He's shocked.
He's absolutely shocked, as is all the rest of the team. Now, he's went like that, screwed it over, because there is no way a centre-half of Luke Graham's standard, right? We've talked player of the month for us. There is no way a centre half of his standard and his quality has done that. Especially, he's the right side of George Oakley, right? I know he's the last man, right?
So far out of goal as well, though.
It's
isn't it?
so far out of goal. There is
Yeah.
no chance in the way that he is fucked out with his arm. There is absolutely no way he's done that. And the fact that then George Oakley has done what we think he's done, you know, thrown Luke Graham's arm towards it, knocked out for play, thrown his arms out instantaneously,
Yeah.
and then obviously riled the sidelines, and we have Scott Brown over on the sidelines. Now you'll see him in my background now. Scott Brown, apparently we scalped Falkirk, the Ayr United social media put out yesterday. He's obviously, and we know Scott Brown's influence. We saw it as a captain at Celtic, we saw it as a captain at Aberdeen, we saw it as a captain of Scotland, you know, as well.
Yeah, he's constantly in the ref and the years constantly.
Now, George Oakley's made that claim.
Yeah.
Scott Brown's seen that claim. And then we suddenly have a red card for Luke Graham.
Yeah.
Very delayed as well, I'd like to say, because the ref wasn't given that.
Aye.
The linesman then went, oh, reaction on the field. Oh, I'm seeing a reaction on the touchline.
Yeah, the liners went with that.
That's how I've seen it. That's how I've seen it. But I've had... Sorry, Cam, go on you.
That's how I've seen it as well. But it's like Lionel took so long. He's seen Scott Brown and Stephen Whittaker, may I add, and he's went up to the ref, come here, and pointed to Luke Graham.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
happened.
the lino has definitely made the decision here for the ref. I've no idea whether the club intend to appeal. I know it costs money to appeal. I don't think the success rate of appeals is that high either. No. However, if it was the difference between having Luke Graham back for the next game, then I think personally it's worth having a go, because as we saw, I don't think Cole is 100% match fit. We don't really want to shuffle any others to kind of play in there either. So if you could have Luke Graham available, hopefully the club are looking at it. Listen, if they don't, they don't. But hopefully, if there's something in there that they can, hopefully they appeal it.
Mm. I mean, I was dumbfounded by it.
Yeah, it's a 2-game ban apparently as well.
Is it a 2? I wasn't sure if it was a 1 or a... So there you go. So
apparently it's a 2-game.
Right. So you obviously you'd have him missing Aki's away. Aki's at home and then Dunfermline away. So for me that says it all. Let's get the appeal in. If there's any grounds to appeal and we think we've got enough evidence, put it in.
I think there's absolutely 100% grounds to appeal. 100% grounds to appeal. You look at that in slow motion, you can actually see the arm. And now, it's a tattooed arm from what I can see. A short sleeve tattooed arm hitting the ball. So it's either... I mean, it is hard to make out. But there is no way on the face of this earth a defender of the quality of Luke Graham has went with his left arm and knocked it intentionally out of play. No way. Absolutely no way. It's common sense. It's actually common sense.
And it changed the full complexion of the game.
Of course it did. Of course it did.
You've then got to defend very, very well against a team. They're an experienced team. And for 80 minutes, or just over 80 minutes, you've then got to defend for your life. And we obviously made a sub. Calvin Miller goes off. Big Call comes on. Personally, I think I would have kept Calvin Miller on. He's played left wing back before he might.
What sub would you make then, Ross? Because you need to obviously bring on a centre half at that point.
Well, there's a couple of options. Obviously, listen, if Cole's on the bench, he must have said he was fit. The guys have thought he was fit. He obviously had ended up taking a knock or two during the game as well, which probably hasn't helped him. The options that you had, you could have brought Mackie into centre half and put Leon at left back. You could have kept Calvin Miller on and took Ethan Ross off, because obviously Calvin's got sort of left wing back experience as well. That might have been a big help to the defence as you're down to 10 men. But we didn't, and I saw online people are saying, oh, well, we didn't defend very well regardless of the sending off. Well, we didn't defend very well in part due to the sending off, because I'm sure we would have defended very, very differently. I think John McGlynn talks about it as well, doesn't he? He says you take Luke Graham out, there's not a lot of height left in the team. And we lost, we didn't just lose headed goals, but we lost a few headed goals yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
We did, yeah.
obviously the goal came for the equaliser came from a corner, and there was two goals that came from a very similar position from corners as well. You think maybe if we'd had Big Luke on the park, that might not have happened, but the two goals that they did get from corners came from a very similar position in a very, I detest solo marking. I think when you're a man down and you stay with the zonal marking system as we do, and as we've been brilliant with. But when you go that man down, you can see the two goals came from the exact same position and the exact same ball from the corner kick taker. Just a free header, and you think if Luke was still in the park, those goals might not have happened.
Potentially not. Yeah, potentially not.
Yeah.
But potentially not.
But yeah, like you say, that it came from the Henderson goal came from the equaliser came from the corner, and it was a flick on to the back post, and that was the same as the McMahon goal as well, which he actually scored from the same position, but he didn't have the flick on, but he scored directly from. To make it kind of 3-2. I mean, we did get our noses in front again at 10 men, and hats off to the guys. Alfie Agyeman, Jesus Christ. Great to see, obviously, Ross getting his back in the goals, by the way. I have to say, I think he needs that, and we had the post-match interview with him. But Alfie, he's absolutely on fire. He set up a goal yesterday, he scores a goal. He's absolutely undroppable at the moment, Ross.
He is. No, he is. He's playing out his skin. More than deserves his start in the team every week so far, the last few weeks. We heard from him last Saturday post-match when we were in hospitality. He's absolutely loving life just now. He's loving being a huge part of the team, and you can see it in his confidence in his play. Brilliant ball in.
Sean Mackey, by the way, brilliant.
Fantastic ball in. Does what he does best. Got a real nice left peg on him. And Alfie, obviously, he had to stretch a little bit to get there, but he did get there. And his body strength, as we know, his upper body strength is so powerful, and deservedly back. I'm saying deservedly back in front. We got back in front, and it's a shame that we lost the next goal so quickly. And it was a brilliant strike, by Dempsey. It was a fantastic strike. So can't take that away from him.
Yeah, there was Nicky had no chance with that. Absolutely no chance. It was a great goal.
Fantastic goal from the boy, from being honest.
Yeah. It's a sore one to lose, but it was some strike.
Yeah. Is there...
Aye.
Is there... I mean, I know we tried to play like Falkirk, and I have done over for the last couple of years under John McGlynn. Was there an argument when we went down to 10 men to switch the system maybe and just keep it, maybe sacrifice one of the midfielders and go a bit deeper and defend a bit deeper? Is there an argument there? I mean, I know when we went 2-1, we were 1-0 up, and then obviously the man got sent off. When we went 2-1, was there an argument then to maybe just go, right, let's change it a wee bit and sacrifice something?
A long time to defend or draw or change your outlook in it, Callum.
Yeah, a very tough decision to make at that point in the game. You're still in the first half and 70 odd minutes left. Long time to defend.
Aye.
So,
3-2,
I don't know.
3-2 and at half time though. And then it only got worse obviously in the second half. Chances for Falkirk few and far between. And it was Alfie Babbage, obviously, who we knew from Kelty last season, who did really well there, on loan from Aberdeen for Ayr. Got 2 goals. Hendo tried his best. Great initial stop from Nicky. And then Hendo he lost the ball on the line, and I don't think you can blame Hendo much. He did really well. He keep it from being a goal. And I don't think there's anything else he could have done, Ross.
No, that close to the line, and there was obviously a lot of pressure on him. It was the second half was an uphill struggle. It was always going to be really difficult to try and potentially get an equaliser at first, and then as soon as it went 4-2, I think everybody, even those probably at home watching, like everybody watching Falkirk TV at the game or whatever, you think, do you know what, we're not getting back into this. As much as we know how good the team are and how so good we are going forward, it was a bit of a backs to the wall type situation. There was very little chance in that second half. I think Brad Spencer a shot from just outside the box, but yeah, it was just the worry I had, and I'm sure Callum was the same, as it went 5-2 and there was still 20 minutes left, and you're thinking, oh, shit, what's the scoreline going to be today? 5 was already back up, but thankfully, it didn't change.
It was that bad, Callum, yeah?
Aye. Like Ross said, as soon as I hit 4-2, you're like, that's it. We're not getting anything from this now. And I hit 5-2, 20 minutes left. I'm like to my pals, oh no.
Yeah.
Then thankfully it's 5-2, but that's still not great, but this is not a complete gubbin.
I mean, that's the thing though. It's like
onwards and upwards, as you say.
That's absolutely.
You're saying thankfully 5-2, you know, Ross, like, should John have changed it tactically when we went down to 10 men? Did we play like Falkirk normally play, as in we didn't change our system really? We still tried to do what Falkirk do. Is there an argument there to say that we maybe should have changed the system a wee bit, parked the bus a bit?
It's a tough one, John, because I don't know if that's us. I think you could say, oh well, do we go ultra defensive and try and keep the scoreline down, or try and maintain the lead when we got it at 2-1? But it was obviously very, very quickly 2-2, so they probably didn't have a huge time to react. But I think it would have been really alien of us to just abandon the philosophy that we have, in my opinion. When we do go to 10 men, though, because obviously we've went down to 10 men 2 or 3 times now this season, previously in the Cups, I think there's the only other 2, unless I'm missing a league game where we went down to 10. But we tend not to come back from these scenarios, as we've seen. So really, really tough. Bad day at the office, or whatever phrase you want to use. But the one big thing I would say is we've been beaten a couple of times now, this season, or 2-3 times in the league. However, we've always came back and bounced back the next game, and I have that confidence in the team that we will do just that.
Yeah, and next game it's obviously against Hamilton. Any kind of final words on the game against their boys? Because obviously I wasn't there. Just watched the highlights. It looked a tough afternoon. Any of you boys got anything to add to it? That's a resounding no then.
Not for me. No, not for me. We move on. I think it's the best thing to do.
Looking for their number 5. Should have seen red.
I mean, we always.
That's true. No, John, that's a good shout. Actually, They could have had a red card on Saturday as well. Yeah. David Dickinson. I know we hate singling out refs, but that guy has massive.
Just move on from the game.
Has massive previous against Falkirk as well. He really does.
Not a Bobby Dazzler then.
Not a Bobby Dazzler, indeed. No,
absolutely not. But yeah, that's it. I mean, the thing is, we're sitting here as Falkirk supporters. You know, we are 3 defeats now in however.
2 seasons. Yep.
A year and a half, which is like, And we've not done many of these podcasts where we've been talking about defeats, to be honest with you, in the week.
No.
So, like, there'll be a lot of people,
Yeah.
oh, is that the bottle burst now? Is that done? But we've seen it so many times in this Falkirk team, the bounce back ability, using Ian Dowie's phrase yet again, that the team have, and it's, you just hope against Hamilton. We'll talk about the Hamilton game just in a minute, but you can see, in previous times with defeat of Wraith Rovers, of Livingston, the next week we've bounced back from it, and that's what you got to hope. The one thing, however, it does is give Ayr a look into the kind of promotion race, you would say.
Well, they're only 7 points now behind us. So yeah, absolutely. Listen,
I mean, for that, yesterday it was either
a huge
they win, and if they got beat yesterday, you could probably count them out of the the title challenge. They've won yesterday,
Yep. Yeah, they're right back in.
But playing, against a team for that length of time, I mean, in fairness, Kilmarnock did the exact same against Hearts today, but the way that Falkirk like to play, the way that John McGlynn likes to play, it's it's going to be tough. It's going to be absolutely tough. So, anyway, like you say, keep bounce back ability in your head, and let's hear from John McGlynn right now.
John, obviously a disappointing result, and going down to 10 early doors clearly had an effect on the game, but can you give us some thoughts on the match today?
I thought we had a great start in the game, fantastic start. Good goal with Ross McKeever. Calvin's involved in it, plays up on the Alfie. Alfie does incredibly well in the wider area, gets down the byline, great ball across, and it's a great start for us, away from home. And what was always going to be a difficult game, but putting ourselves in the situation that we end up with 10 men after 10 minutes is really difficult in a game where it was going to be difficult 11v11, never mind 10v11. There was a bit of good sort of breeze in this, going down towards the goal that we were defending. It kind of like made it difficult for us at times to get out with the 10 men, but we were defending fairly well. We lose a goal, just got to try and stick together. We do remarkably well to get ourselves back in front. I think it's Sean who does really well down the wider area. Ball's played in behind, he gets here, delivers it across. Alfie's got in, very similar to the goal he scored last week. And delighted to be 2-1 up, considering we're down at 10 men. Unfortunately, the lead didn't last long enough, and second goal was a good strike. I think corner kick, losing 2 goals for the corner kick was a little bit disappointing. We were obviously losing Luke. We put Call on to kind of obviously it's a straightforward swap. We unfortunately having to lose a player. It was one of the ones where it would any one of the guys, Ethan, Alfie, Calvin, so it's unfortunate for Calvin we had to take him off. But then, still probably should defend the corner kicks better. Disappointed with that. Find ourselves 3-1 down. We try to make it a little bit more difficult for them. We went 4-3-2, trying to get some more pressure on the ball a little bit, because the centre backs were getting far too much time on the ball coming out in the first half, and so we tried to make that more difficult. We felt maybe Ross would win some headers off and we got on the end of things. Didn't quite materialise, so that was unfortunate. And just there was always going to be a little bit more space in the pitch, and they were always going to try and eventually find the space in the pitch, and they've managed to get another couple of goals. But I'm very proud of the players in the way that they have committed to the game. They've kept going. The fans were amazing, absolutely different class, so proud of them. The fans, what they gave us here today was incredible. You'd have thought we had won 5-2, no the other way around. So a massive thank you to everyone who came down here today and backed the team. We'll stick together, we'll have a good week's training, and we'll look to bounce back at home next week against Hamilton. So we've still got an opportunity here to get another 3 points in this quarter. That would give us 21 points, and that would be even better than what we did in the first quarter. So we dust ourselves down and get on with it.
So we've lost Callum. He's disappeared. disappeared.
No,
Gutted. Hopalong's gone.
he's gone, but we'll get him back sometime, I'm sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we're talking about for next week. Ross, from your perspective, because I wasn't there yesterday, would you put Sean Mackey in at centre half, bring Leon back in, bearing in mind you don't think Cole's that fit yet?
I think if Cole's not 100%, and obviously we're thinking about whether he was 100% to play a good chunk of game yesterday, and then he took a couple of knocks as well during the game. Do you just bring Sean Mackey into centre half, bring Liam McCann back into left back? That to me, because that's what we did against East Kilbride when Luke Graham wasn't available. So if that's the case, I think that's the plan B. I think that's what we go with.
Yeah. I bet, like, we know how much of a colossus Cole was last season at centre half, him and Tam.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess getting back up to speed when Luke and Liam have been playing so well with each other as well, must be tough getting back in. Just a bit of a disconnect, do you think, between him and Hendo back yesterday?
No, I don't know. I think it was just the last minute sort of change of tact. I don't necessarily, because obviously the two of them do have a good relationship. Not that
But the thing is, you've got to remember that Hendo was playing midfield last season.
That's very, very true. Yeah,
so coming in as a centre half pairing, I guess, when obviously Hendo and Graham have picked up that centre half pairing after Hendo's had to drop back into centre half.
Yep.
I mean, Colin and Hendo have, they played together obviously at centre half before, but it's tough, I guess, coming at that point.
Yeah, you've been planning for a game all week, and then that happens and just kind of absolutely throws it, John. So it probably would have took a bit. But if Cole is fit, that bearing in mind they'll be working on that all this week coming. So regardless as to what the scenario is, we will be well prepared for Hamilton Accies on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Hamilton Accies game just in a minute. But let's get your views on the game from Saturday. Colin B says, "Oh God, I know this was coming. I blame Ewan Cameron for today." Now, Ewan Cameron on the radio last week declared that Falkirk had won the league. The league was done. I blame Ewan as well, because I had words with him when I saw him on Monday morning. I was like, Jesus Christ, Ewan, why have you said that? Why have you said that? Now, obviously, after a result like yesterday, it blows back in your face with Dunfermline support, such as my friend Stephen Mill, I've been back and forth all day with him about him saying, Falkirk thought they'd won the league. Then the Hearts got beat after Kilmarnock were down to 10 men, which even fueled the fire. Now, at no point, apart from the people that were on the Wayne train, have I ever said this?
Which is growing.
I ever, at any point in this podcast, said we would win the league. There's absolutely no chance I would ever say that, right?
No.
And I don't think, it keeps getting brought back. John McGlynn talked about this. There was a lot of ifs, buts and maybes at that point.
There was.
And I think any Falkirk supporter out there at this, would have said playoffs is brilliant this season. If we made the playoffs this season, it's brilliant. I would hope with our league standing that we would still make the playoffs. We're 5. Let's be clear here. We're 5 points still at the top of the league. That could go. Obviously, Livingston's a game in hand is against Airdrie, so that could go to 2 points.
Could do. Yep.
It could go to 2 points, but
we're still in a healthy position.
We're in a really healthy position, and I think we are miles ahead of where we thought we'd be come the start of the season.
Totally agree. Yes.
Absolutely.
I would say so, John.
I would say, like, coming up to halfway point in the season, if you'd say to any Falkirk supporter at the start of the season, do you know what? Come Christmas time, you might be 5 points clear at the top of the league. At the top of the league, any Falkirk supporter would have went, holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. Because I think any Falkirk supporter at this point would have said, or at the start of the season, would have said, listen, if we get in the playoffs, that's a good season.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think...
Including you on the Wayne train.
Yeah. No, listen, I remember in the summer saying I thought we were good enough to make a real impact this season, and I think we have and are.
Yeah, of course we have. I think you can't argue against that because we're 5 points clear at the top of the league right now, and you can't argue. A team from League One, now, albeit we in League One we built a championship side for League One, right?
Yep.
In League One, we built the championship side. We formed that team unit, and we've brought that positivity, that momentum up into the championship. It's been great, and it's been absolutely great. We've only been beaten 3 times this season. Now, if you'd said to any Falkirk supporter, you've only been beaten 3 times, it's coming up from League One.
Yeah. Oh, you're biting the hand off. Of course you would have.
You're biting your hand off. You're biting our hand off. What we've got to stop right now is the Wayne train. Now, I'm putting buffers on the Wayne train right now, right?
Right.
Because the Wayne train to championship, right, is what's holding us back right now. Because other supporters, and you'll see in the background behind me, Scott Brown beside the Kelpies, if you're listening in the podcast version, and that Ayr United supporter or Ayr United social media that said that Falkirk got scalped or whatever it was.
Yep.
Yeah, Scalpies, right? We've got to stop that. Right, we've got to stop giving teams ammunition. Now, there was an interview done with John McGlynn.
Are we giving them ammunition?
There's been a lot of press.
Social media very rarely puts anything out about winning.
No, Falkirk social media are smart because they haven't done what race overs do. They haven't done what Ayr have just done, right?
Yeah.
But there was an interview done with John McGlynn, and there was talk about getting up and going top 6 and all this sort of stuff, right?
He's an ambitious guy, John. He's an ambitious.
It was all ifs, buts, and maybes, right? But
it was, yeah.
It was absolutely all ifs, buts, and maybes. But other teams hear that. They take what they want from that. They don't hear we could, we should, blah, 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 right? They don't hear those words. All they take from that is the headline, right? Is like, we could be doing Europe, we could be doing top 6 in the Premiership, blah, 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 right? That's all they hear. And that's what will get pinned up on every dressing room wall, right?
It might do, but listen, it's not come from a look at me.
It's not come from it's not come from any Falkirk Club official channel, but it's come from these things, right? And we've just got to take a bit of a calm here and just go, right, okay, what was our objectives at the start of the season? Our objectives, right? Now, the club have budgeted for 5th, right? I think any Falkirk supporter, you asked at the start of the season, if we got the playoffs, we'd be delighted. Yes?
Yep. That was you're right. That was the chat. Like, if we'd made playoffs, that would have been a successful season.
We find ourselves at the top of the league right now, okay? 5 points clear, right? Brilliant. Absolutely, for 100% is a successful season. Just calm it down, no. Let's not give any...
Calm. We are calm.
You are not calm, Ross Wayne. Just calm it down. We'll see where it goes. We know how good a team we've got. We just can't be... If you curb the bravado a wee bit, don't give any other team any ammunition. Just stay in your lane, see where it goes.
George, do you genuinely think some of these clubs are interested in what a podcast?
No, I don't think they are. But I think there's been, I think the media, the mainstream media, when you look at,
I blame your Clyde ones.
Oh no! But you look at all the paper articles, you look at that sort of articles like promotion favourites, blah blah blah. All this.
That's natural when you're so far in front.
Well, I mean, of course,
it's a natural thing, isn't it?
Of course, it's natural. Absolutely, of course, it's natural, and it's the papers that jump upon these things, right?
Yep. Yes.
But it makes headlines, right? And they'll extract headlines from what I work in the media. I know how they work. They'll extract these kind of headlines, and they'll hear John McGlynn say this about top 6, and that'll be the headline. or whatever. We've got to try and avoid that, because as this guy behind me, if you're watching the YouTube version, they'll just take advantage of it. They'll just try and, that'll be, Falkirk think they've won the league already.
I think John McGlynn keeps the players firmly on the ground, though. I do, but the media don't, Ross. That's the problem. The media will jump on anything, and I know the media will jump on anything. You look for those lines. And you will take those lines, and you will broadcast them, or you will put them on a headline. It's a bit like Ewan, because when Ewan talked about on the podcast the last couple of weeks, where Ewan talks about Jamie Swinney quoting, or me quoting, that we've won the league. That's not the context at all. Ewan Cameron was the actual person who tweeted out saying, "Do Falkirk think they could cope in the Premier League?" The answer, quite quickly, from various people, including me and Jamie, was that yes, we think we could. And here's why. But he stopped reading at "yes, we think we could," and then ignored every single comment that was after that, because he only wanted to hear the first part.
Now that goes to my point, is media will jump upon those points.
Yeah, but that's the media to blame. It's not.
Yeah, but then the media then take it. They put it on the newspaper. They put it on a podcast. They put it on wherever. And then the managers or the team hear that, see that, they put it up. Don't say anything. This is what I'm saying listen, just be quiet about everything, right? We won't do podcasts anymore. We won't talk about Falkirk anymore. We'll not do interviews with the press or media anymore. And that's why we'll win the league.
Could we not just rein you and Cameron, and that feels far easier. Easier said than done, maybe. Anyway, listen, I agree with Colin. Let's blame you and Cameron for the result. Jo Hinder, pal, she's messaged in as well. She says, after seeing the footage of Oakley and Graham, Falkirk dafty of the week is definitely George Oakley. Cheating wee rat, she says.
Some would say cheating, some would say gamesmanship, but I wholeheartedly agree it's cheating. Craig Rodden, our pal as well, says, take away the ref and some of the decisions which were poor, but if we want to go on and win the league, then we need to defend corners and crosses a lot better. I think obviously Luke getting taken out.
Yeah, that was a massive impact.
Massive impact, that. Donaldson looks unfit and possibly still carrying an injury. Needed aggression in defence, but didn't have it today.
Indeed. Craig Cruikshank says, everyone knows the game doesn't end 5-2 if we had 11 men on the park. That being said, we need to defend much better than we did, so he shares a similar thought process to Craig.
Dougie says, putting it in perspective, it's been 18 months since we've been spanked like that in the league. 10 men or not, we can't defend as badly as we did today and get away with it. Next 3 games will hopefully return 9 points and show true bounce back ability.
9 points would be phenomenal. We are obviously playing Accies at home. We've then got 2 away trips to Dunfermline and then Airdrie.
Tough. Both tough.
The 2 away games are both on TV. We've fared well on TV this year. So fingers crossed we can sort of continue that form as well. Inge says 3 defeats in almost 2 years on top of the league, just as Dougie said there as well. What a position to be in given where we were. Not much to worry about. We regroup, and we move on.
Yeah, Jack says, we can make excuses all day. The ref, the pitch cutting up, the bobble on the ball, etc. Sometimes things just don't go your way. It was one of those games. Nothing went for us, and possibly some poor decision by players and management to led to the hammering. Fans were class though. Come on, ye Bairns.
Indeed. Gavin McGill says, we've reacted to defeats well before, so let's just do that again, and all will be forgotten. That sounds like a plan, Gavin. That sounds like a plan.
And shout out to Danny, who I actually met at the Cash for Kids lunch a couple of weeks ago, and he says, you cannot and will not win them all. Game changing a red card. This team are special. There will be a reaction next week. So it was great to meet Danny. And can also put a shout out as well, Ross, to Johnny, who I met a couple of weeks, and I forgot to do this last week. I met him. I told you I was at Hearts versus Aberdeen Hospitality. Yes. You would have loved it, Ross, as a hospitality expert. You would have absolutely very good hospitality I met Scott Crabbe, as I think I told you in the last podcast as well. But I met Johnny in the pub, the Golden Rule. I don't know if you know the Golden Rule pub. It's in Polwarth. Now, Johnny was a Falkirk Daft listener. And I walked into the pub. And the boys from the Terrace, Craig Fowler and... who was the other boy? No, it wasn't Joe Sked. It was the other Hearts supporter.
Robert Mortwick.
That was the fella. They were both in the pub. But Johnny, who watched the Golden, was like, "Did you do Falkirk Daft?" I was like, "I do, aye." And steaming as I was at the time, the Aberdeen boys I was in, I couldn't believe it. It was like, so I got chatting to Johnny. So Johnny works in the Golden Rule in Polwarth. So if you're looking for a good pint, head to the Golden Rule in Polwarth. And Johnny plays in a band called The Vaunt as well. So check them out. I think they're going to he's looking for a gig at Behind the Wall soon. So check out The Vaughn on Spotify. And his pal came over as well, Austin, and he played with Barney Stewart at Henry Watt.
Oh, brilliant.
At
Excellent.
Henry Watt. And he said, I was like, "What's he like?" He's like, "Oh, he's an absolute player. Absolute player." So a shout out to Johnny and Austin, who I met in the Golden Rule in Polwarth a couple of weeks ago and who listened to the podcast. So big Johnny, big Falkirk supporter. He was brilliant. Loved it. So that was just a little aside there. Right, let's get into the Falkirk Daft rating. The Falkirk Dafty of the week. Ross, who's the Falkirk Daft rating going to? I will not. I'll give it to you.
Listen, I think
from
there. You said it earlier, you nailed it, John. So in terms of his overall performance, his assist and his goal, I'm going to give it to Alfie again, which I think puts some front runner with 4, if you agree anyway, with 4 Falkirk Daft rated performances so far this season.
And can we just say thank you to everyone who got in touch with us to point out the song about Alfie Argument is from the boy band Ozone back in the day and was remixed by One Republic and David Guetta for the Alfie Argument song. But I had no idea about that. Like, I actually, now that I come to think, I listened to it and I was like, yeah, that's the Alfie Argument song.
When you hear the tune, you're like, oh, of course it is.
Yeah. It wasn't My Chemical Romance as first suspected. But yeah, listen, go with you. Like, just watching the highlights, the fact they skinned in, set up the first goal and scored their second goal, you've got to give it to Alfie, haven't you?
I would agree.
One Dafty, surely. Who's
it has to be George
Bucking Oakley.
I hope he gets syphilis Oakley. Yes, that is who we want as the Falkirk Dafty of the week.
Right, okay, George Oakley gets Dafty of the week. Looking at actually down the Falkirk Dafties, he's only the second opposition player to get the Falkirk Dafty. Dylan Easton being
Dylan Easton got it recently, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
Though Scott Brown's trousers are still in the Dafty of the week there as well.
And that may well come back again. I see he was rocking some sort of weird jacket yesterday. So he's obviously, I don't know if he's not going to be shopping in Matalan, knowing his previous salary that he would have got at Celtic. But he loves his designer gear, this Scott Brown, you can tell.
Absolutely. Now, usually at this point we do Falkirk Daft versus, but he's dropped off. The big man's dropped off. I can't believe it.
I think in your current condition, he would have fucking scalped you this week. I think it would have been a win for the list.
But I don't know, Ross, because when you've had a few drinks, you're most confident, because everybody goes up and does karaoke when they're the most confident, as it is proven over my last experience.
I'm going to ask you, so I've got the questions, so why don't I ask you the questions?
Oh, save them.
Why save them?
Save them for next time. Save for that. We'll do it next week. But Calum's dropped off, so no Falkirk Daft versus this week. But if you want to be a pundit just like Callum was, drop into our DMs, pundit@falkirkdaft.co.uk, or slide into our DMs, Twitter or Facebook.
This is Falkirk Daft.
With Behind the Wall, we're navy blue. Are you?
Now we look ahead to Hamilton Accies. I am so gutted. Only Accies, our friends from last season, it's stopped being a thing now. Yeah. And there's no Accies podcast now. It's really disappointing.
Their social media presences came back a little bit, so they're on Twitter and stuff now, but we've reached out to them a couple of times in DM, and it's been ignored, unfortunately. But it is what it is, John. It is what it is. We can't if they don't want to come on, they don't want to come on. But it's a shame because they gave some good.
Listen, Ben, who does, I know he got a slag in last season, but Ben, who does only Aki's, and Brandon as well, are both great guys.
Yeah, no,
and they've just been put off by the amount of trolling they get from Falkirk supporters over the last season. But great guys. But let's look ahead to Hamilton. Obviously, we had the absolute light over them last season, and we've had the light over them this season as well. A win on Saturday stopped a run of 3 defeats for them, Ross.
Yeah. I was obviously I saw the updates that were coming through social media for Aki's, so they got the win, which they probably badly needed. As you said, John, they've had 3 defeats on the spin prior to that. A real mixed bag, because they, like, when you look at it on the face, they've got 18 points so far this season. They're in that sort of bottom half of so we've got 2 halves, don't we? Like, I know that sounds daft, but
it is now looks, the league is like in 2 halves when you look fifth to first and then 6th to 10th.
And you would assume that's maybe, unless someone has a real catastrophic downturn in form, and one of those bottom 5 teams has a real rich vein of form. Yeah, I think that probably will be the 2 halves. Maybe not in the order that they're in, but yeah, Aki's are sitting certainly top of that sort of bottom mini league, as we said. Listen, they always give us not an easy game. We have been winning. We have had the upper hand over them. I'd like to hope that will continue on Saturday, but I'm sure they'll be well up for it. That's really good win for them yesterday, so they will come with confidence. We've not had a win yesterday, so not that I think it will massively affect your confidence, as we've been saying 2 or 3 times in this podcast. The players do and have responded well from defeats, and I don't see why that would be any different this weekend. And it's probably even better that we're at home after that defeat yesterday. So there'll be another big crowd, festive crowd at the stadium, and we will want to send people. They will want to send people home for Christmas with a win. I'm sure they will.
Christmas jumpers and Santa hats all around, Ross.
Exactly. Yes. Well, I'll be rocking my it's McGlynning to look a lot like Christmas.
Oh, did you buy? I did see that shout out. Who put that?
It's Tartan Tees. Yes. Yeah, so Matty, it's Tartan Tees. So we shared that on our socials last week, as people will have seen. So get involved. I know a lot of people have. I bumped into him yesterday as well. But John, I think there is a little bit of grudge on this game.
There's always since last season. There's always grudge in this game, I think.
Yeah. There's a bit of needle. They've got a couple of decent players. Ollie Shaw can't be ignored. He's the top scorer in the league. Never mind in Hamilton. He's the top scorer in Championship just now with 8 goals. So he can't be ignored. But I'll reiterate, I probably sound like a real broken record, but if we turn up, we'll win the game.
All about bounce back ability, mate.
Indeed.
I mean, I think when we've played Hamilton previously this season, there's been nothing much to fear, isn't there? Like when we played them at their place, when we played them at home and stuff, they really haven't, not been impressed by them. But there is that bit, like you say, there's that bit of needle, I think, that's left over from last season. Yeah. They'll be desperate. They will be absolutely 100% desperate to get one over us, because we've been in such a run of form against them over the last couple of seasons, coming up together as well. Yeah. So, and like you say, you can't discount Ollie Shaw, Scott Martin, very good player in midfield. The one thing about John Rankin you would say, though, is he continues to just turn the team over.
He does. He chops and changes quite a lot, which is a constant frustration for the Hamilton fans, to be fair to them. But yeah, I think if we turn up, though, we are a game.
At home. If we were not being defeated, and, God, last time was Edinburgh City.
whenever.
Maybe April 2023, I want
Yep.
to say. So, yeah, a long time ago. And you don't want to lose it to anyone, but you certainly don't want to lose it to a team that there is that little bit of needle with, such as Accies or Dunfermline or Wraith, that type of thing. So, yeah. But it'll be exciting. It'll be a good game, as always. The last half, the second half, will be under the lights, which is always good at this time of year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think the score's going to be?
I know I was vastly out, but I think it will be a similar scoreline to what I predicted for yesterday, and the same scoreline as to how we played against in October. So I'm going to go Falkirk 3-1.
Falkirk 3-1.
What are you thinking?
Think it will be 2-0 Falkirk. 2-0.
That would do. Nice wee clean sheet, couple of goals.
Yeah.
Celebrate Christmas in style.
Be interesting to see what happens in terms of if they appeal Luke Graham's suspension or not, because I suspect, and like you say, Ross, it'll be interesting to see if they shuffle the pack and put Sean Mackey in the middle with Hendo and bring Leon back in, or if they bring Cole straight back in with Hendo. I mean, if Cole is fit, you think that's the obvious change to make.
It would be the obvious one, assuming he's fit. Yeah, it would be the obvious move. Yeah.
We will wait and see, and maybe we'll see Tom Lang on the bench next week. Who knows?
Could be, maybe, if he's if there's not been a bump. Certainly, John McGlynn said 2 or 3 weeks, which was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So, fingers crossed.
Oh, I'd love to see Big Sexy back on the bench. That'd be amazing. But yeah, fingers crossed. Bounce back ability is the nature of the game, and let's see how we get on Saturday.
This is Falkirk Daft.
With Behind the Wall. Stay local, eat and drink global.
And that is almost it for Falkirk Daft this weekend. Thank you very much for sticking with us. The wine is almost done. Let's do the last bit.
I think this is probably going to be one of the ones where people go, yeah, I remember that episode. Yeah.
You remember that episode when John was steaming? There we are. But before we go, we need to say thank you to everyone who got involved in the Steve Cody Roll of Honour. Thank you very much to Dell, Phil, James, Stevie, Craig, Paul, Joe, Michael, Grant, Elsa and Yvonne. All messaged us with Steve Cody after Ross's declaration last week.
Who are you going for? You got one?
Oh, I'll give you at the end of the podcast, mate. I'll give you at the end of the podcast. Thank you very much for listening, as usual, to Falkirk Daft. We're here every week, you know that. We're on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube if you want to see our beautiful faces. Ross, by the way, I'm just going to point this out right now. I was described as smouldering the other week there.
Who said that? Your mother?
Well, no, a girl at work took a picture of me and said, John, you look smouldering in that picture. And I went, thank you very much.
That's a compliment. That's a good compliment.
And every time I've been described as smouldering. So if you want to see this smouldering man, watch the YouTube version. You can do that. Like and subscribe. youtube.com/Falkirk Daft. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just type in Falkirk Daft there. And of course, Christmas is just round the corner. I can't believe you've not bought Falkirk Daft merch yet for your loved ones. It's very disappointing. I get a note of all the people that have bought Falkirk Daft merch, and it's poor, Ross. I'm going to be honest with you, it's poor.
Is this because we did quite well with it last year, but is it a bit poor this year?
It's been poor. It's been poor. So, you know what? You're sitting listening to this podcast right now and you think, oh God, I've not got anything for the loved one in my life. Get them some Falkirk Daft merch. merch.falkirkdaft.co.uk. Do that right now. Hit that up. The links are below, as we say in the YouTube world. And if you want to get involved as well, you'll also find the links below. Our Discord channel, lots of chat in there about yesterday's game. Get involved with that and get in touch with us directly if you want to sponsor the episode, just like the wonderful Rumour Architects have as well. Ryan, thank you so much for sponsoring this week's episode. Get in touch with Ryan. Please do that. armar.co.uk, armar.co.uk. If you're thinking about doing an extension on your house,
You know, they've done commercial property. Like I said before, they've been involved with those amazing houses where the old Polish club used to be.
Yeah.
They've done Crunchy Carrots, or club sponsor as well. They designed their offices as well. Get in touch, armar.co.uk, and Ryan is a great guy and he'll be brilliant to deal with, so get involved. With that, thank you very much for sponsoring this week episode, as well as the Falkirk football fans in training and also behind the wall. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Thank you very much for listening. We're going to wind it up. And by the way, can we just take a bit of acknowledgement? Like, if you're watching the YouTube version, if you're not, I'll describe it. There's Scott Brown behind me with the Ayr United's fucking official Twitter channel saying the Bairns got scalped. Keep that in mind, bookmark that, and let's see how we do against them when they come to the stadium later on in the season, or when we go down to Somerset, because
I've dealt with them before. We dealt with them in September or October time. We'll deal with them again, so their time will come.
Their time will come. Their time will come. Let's see what happens when it's 11 against 11 the next time, without George Oakley being a gamesmanship kind of master. Fuck off, George Oakley. That's how I'm leaving this podcast. Right, we need a player for people to tweet and message us, not text us, because that would be me giving out my personal phone number, and you don't want that. Right, okay, so who is it going to be? Have we done Denzel Theobald yet?
No, I don't think we have. That's a good shout.
Right, okay, right, so tweet Denzel Theobald if you got to this point in the podcast. Denzel Theobald, tweet, direct message us on Facebook, Twitter, or just, send us a bit of a Twitter on that. Denzel Theobald, that's what you do on the social media, you Twitter. Jesus Christ. Right, I'm going to get up the road, Ross, because I honestly I can't handle anymore.
I think that would be a really good suggestion. Oh mate, this has been brilliant. I needed this on a Sunday night. I really did. Honestly. Sunday
night fun on Falkirk Daft. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, until we hopefully beat Accies next weekend, what is the message that we give to everyone every week?
Expect unexpected.
Damn right.
We're Falkirk Daft. We're Falkirk Daft. Talking about the dark blues and having a bit of a laugh. We're Falkirk Daft. We're Falkirk Daft. You can listen in the pub or you can listen in the bath. We're Falkirk Daft. We're Falkirk Daft. For everyone who's caring about being a Falkirk Bairn, we're Falkirk Daft. We are Falkirk Daft.